Hello everyone, this is Vickieverlie, and this is going to be your new moon in Taurus spiritual or psychic intuitive astrology read for the new moon in Taurus happening on April 27th, 2025, 3:31 p.m. Eastern, but times will vary depending on your location. This is a psychic or intuitive reading, so therefore I do color outside the lines of traditional astrology quite a bit because I get messages and downloads from my guides as the reading progresses. This is my way of doing things. This is how things progress and new ideas are brought forth very often. Definitely at all my years of doing personal readings, which I am available for. This is how you take these leaps. You get these downloads and messages from your guides. You take these leaps, and then it becomes a new part of your repertoire, you could say, but more a new part of the dialogue with your spirit guides and the communication from your spirit guides. So it's not just book study stuff. It's definitely a psychic reading. If you don't understand astrology and think this is so mumbo jumbo, I don't get it, just hang in there because the messages and downloads, as I say, will be coming through. I want to let you know that you are watching, my name is Vickieverlie, you're watching the Rock and Roll Prophetess on YouTube, and you can only reach me through my website. I won't be messaging you through any social media platforms. It's rampant with content creators that these frauds are out there trying to hustle you. So if you go to my website and you click on any of the links there, that is the way to get that you're definitely talking to me and dealing with me, okay? All right, let's dive in. So here it is. It's the new moon in Taurus at 7 degrees of Taurus, 747. So right away that conjures an image, of course, of those big planes. Do they even make 747s anymore? I don't know if they do. Those are big planes. It used to be really common back in the day. I don't know if they do anymore. Maybe I'm just not remembering it. But when I said that, to me, it was sort of this, I sort of flashed on this nostalgia kind of a thing. And actually what I flashed on was like the 70s, like Brady Bunch, not the Brady Bunch show, but like the way they would dress and that time, the plaids and all that stuff that was popular in the 70s, big plaid bell-bottoms and plaid blazers and stuff. I don't know why I flashed on that, but maybe it's relevant to somebody. Maybe we could, I mean, I don't have the wherewithal in front of me to do this. We could go back to the 1970s and think of some of the things that were going on then, historically, and possibly even astrology, if anybody out there knows something off the top of their head that was going on in the 70s that's recurring again now, please do post it in the comments, astrologically wise. But anyways, yeah, new moon in Taurus. New moon is grounding. Taurus energy is Venus ruled. It rules over money. It rules over the earth. This is always a good time in the northern hemisphere to get your garden going if you're doing gardening. Start tilling the soil, start planting the seeds, maybe indoors or in a greenhouse if you have one. Usually, depending on your location, but up where I am, it's a little too early to put the plants out because we could still get frost. Usually it's end of May, mid to end of May. But you can start the plants indoors and planting your garden. Now this could totally be a figurative thing, if you're not a real gardener, but I guess you could say real gardener. If you actually enjoy gardening, then yeah, it could be that. But it could also be figuratively, you're tilling the soil. What are you planting? What are you getting to grow and bloom? There is a big T-square going on. I was looking at the aspectarian here. So we've got a square to this Mars-Pluto opposition that's going on here. So, that can bring, Mars-Pluto can be volatile energy. They both are kind of warlike. They both can have that tendency to be warlike or have a dark side, so to speak. The Hades, Pluto is the Hades, the underworld and all that. And then Mars is the god of war. So there is this very push me, pull you, but really more of a... I've been watching lately. I love this show. It's so campy and funny, but I love it. It's the old Hercules, the legendary journeys. It's on Prime, and I've been watching it. I usually watch up 1 or 2 episodes before I go to sleep. But it's reminding me of that for some reason. They're flashing me on that. But, there is Mars, the god of war, and the underworld, and all this stuff. I mean, it does incorporate... it's from the 90s. It's a show from the 90s. It's really funny. A lot of it's, and they know it's not. They know they're being funny. You know, it's tongue in cheek. So, but I liked that show when it was on. I liked the show it was on because I used to like it because all the hot guys on it at the time. That's what was where my mind was at. But now I look back on it kind of nostalgia wise, and it's funny, and I've been watching it. But they're showing me like that. They're showing me the imagery from that. Maybe it's because I've been watching it, or maybe it's just because there's some other message there, who knows. But anyways, there's this underworld thing. And what could come of this, what I'm getting right now, what could really come of this, take just this Mars-Pluto opposition, because this is where the intensity and the fuel and the fire is coming from the Mars. It's really firing things up, Mars and Leo. What could come out of it, that could be positive perhaps, is, this Pluto, the god of the underworld, what's hidden and all this stuff. The Mars could come in and dig it up. The Mars energy, this almost looks like a shovel or a spade. We're going to come in and we're going to dig it up. Because Aries is not, the guides just said, leave no stone unturned. So we're going to leave no stone unturned, and we're going to get to the bottom of it all. We're going to get to the bottom of this Pluto energy, of this dark side, of this shadow side. We're going to get to the bottom, and we're going to bring it out. Leo energy, of course, is rules of the sun. So I'm hearing that. Let the sun shine in. Let the sun shine in. The sun shine in. Speaking of 70s, that might have even been the 60s. But we're going to let the sun shine in, Now, what's that other one? Let the sun shine in. It's some kid's song. Mommy never does and Daddy never wins. I don't know what it is. They're giving me some crazy songs today. Mother never lose and Father never wins. That was the Flintstones. Wasn't that Pebbles and Bam Bam's song? I think it was. So let the sun shine in. Yeah, so let the sun shine in, for sure. And this is a new moon, so it's like the sun and moon are joined together. So it's a solar event, It's a new moon is always a solar event, where the full moon is more on the lunar side of it, okay? Like in eclipses, a new moon eclipse is a solar eclipse, and the full moon is a lunar eclipse. So we're bringing the sun in. This is the answer. The new moon is showing, because these two could be going to war. This is totally a war. We're going to war. I'm right. You're, push, fight, punch, lock horns. And the new moon, the solar event in Taurus. So Taurus, it's ruled by Venus, first of all. Okay, Taurus ruler is Venus. You can see that over here. All right. So let's take a more Venusian approach. And of course, Venus is the god of love and beauty, creativity, maybe some sort of creative solutions can seep in here to offset this warlike or oppositional type of energy. Maybe some kind of creative solution. Maybe taking time to smell the roses. Now they're giving me the image of the Ferdinand. The old cartoons too, of Ferdinand the bull, and he's a big burly guy. He's a bull, and he could be the bull in the china shop, but he's out in the field smelling the flowers, and he's really, there's a gentle and peaceful side to Taurus, for sure. If anybody knows Tauruses, or if you're a Taurus yourself, I always get along with my Tauruses great, my whole life. Many of them, it's also, sorry, I knocked something over here. I'm trying to get my other glasses here. But many Tauruses are musical too. I say this often. Well, that's how come I know so many Tauruses, because I'm a musician, and you're always running into people. If they're not Taurus and they have Venus and Taurus, you can almost always find some kind of Taurus thing in really musicianal people, right? So, music, soothing the savage beast through music, or if you're musical yourself, I know many creatives do watch my channel, then this maybe this could music as an outlet, or even if you're just writing lyrics or writing poetry, or Venus, it's all that. It's journaling, through taking that, soothing that savage beast, through giving it an outlet of expression, an outlet of perception is what my guides want to say. So having allowing for another perception to come into view. And often that could be, while you're doing whatever you're doing, or even gardening too, but, creative stuff for sure, it gets that monkey mind out of the way. It gets that, I don't think you could, well, maybe you could be angry while doing art, but generally I'm not. Generally if I have a lot of tension or something and I get into doing some painting or some artwork, it just goes away. It like clears your head. Because also, after all, Mars is Aries energy, and we just had Neptune going in Aries. We talked a lot. Go back to the last one. I had some really cool insights about that whole Aries energy, Neptune and Aries. I might put a few more dots on that today, but Aries rules the head. Before I forget, that's what I'm talking about. So with the Mars transactions or transitions, or gosh, what am I trying to say? Transits? But I want to put another syllable in there for some reason. Yeah, so with this Martian energy, it always brings, because Mars and Aries are, of course, that's the rulership again, right? So it's in your head. Now I'm hearing that other song. Going out of my, how does that? Head, day and night, night and day and night, all the time. Da 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 da. Oh, it's the oldies from that hippie, that groovy era that they keep showing me. I wonder why they keep taking me back to that era. Maybe it's something for me personally, but I feel like not when I'm doing these readings, that they usually aren't bringing my personal messages through. It's for the collective somehow. I'm maybe not quite latching onto what they're trying to talk about from that era, the 60s and 70s. But anyways, yeah, getting out of your head through engaging with the muse, through engaging with the flow, of getting into the flow, of connecting with that flowing spirit, my guides are saying. Allow that flowing spirit to wash this stuff away. I just noticed that Lilith is in here too as well. So we actually have a Grand Cross, if you want to count Lilith in here. So we've got a Grand Cross in the fixed sign. So, fixed signs are just what they sound like. They can be really fixed. They don't like to, they're not usually open to negotiation. They have strong opinions, strong beliefs. They can be very stubborn. Taurus is known for being stubborn, right? That's one of their main traits. Taurus, the bull, is so stubborn. So we want to embrace the positive side of the Taurus energy, because it could be a great help to get through here. And Lilith, she also has she's very strongly opinionated too. See, here's the thing about Tauruses. They're not always so strongly opinionated necessarily. They're just kind of, they'll pick their battles, okay? A Taurus will pick their battle. And then there's some things they won't budge on. But for a lot of the time, they're just kind of, yeah, whatever. They get food and drink, eat, drink, and be merry. Bacchus, the bull smelling the flowers in the field. And they don't usually make a lot of fuss. They're pretty easygoing overall, But Lilith, they're showing me like a hornet's nest being stirred up here with the Lilith energy. Because the Scorpion energy, of course, the symbol of Scorpio, this is that stinger. So the Scorpions bring that stinger. It's the stinger of the Scorpion, actually, but, hornet's nest, whatever you want to call it. There can be this, she's adding to the soup. She's stirring the pot. That's what they're trying to show me. They're stirring the pot. Lilith can certainly stir the pot, and she definitely has some strong opinions, and she's not going to be told what to do, and she's not going to be, she's not open for compromise a lot of times, So that energy is prevalent, but there's always got to be, a solution or a way out. And again, through the Taurian energy, we take it to that highest way of the Taurus energy. It's the creative, It's the music, it's the art, it's the journaling, it's the Venus, it's the gardening. it's getting grounded and getting out of our head. I think that's going to be a big thing. And put your opinions aside for a minute and just really commune with your higher guidance and your higher self here. And, you know, that we do still have this major Pisces thing here. Now, really, Ceres has really lined up, but we've got the Venus, Saturn, and North Node conjunction is still highly in play. And this is in the spiritual sign of Pisces. So there's this strong Piscean energy that is present, that's closer than ever before. So close that you can reach out and touch it. Reach out and touch me. I can't think. I don't know the rest of it. Reach out and touch me. It's real low. Anyways, the other thing about this whole 26 through 28 degrees of Pisces getting activated over here, it is sextiling with this beautiful Uranian energy. And it is also, you know, tied into the South Node, of course. But the Uranus energy is what they're showing me, what I want to dive into a little bit here. So, you know, Uranus wants to be set free. Uranus in Taurus has been a difficult kind of a thing. It's been uncomfortable for a lot of Taurians, you know, because many Taurians are fixed and they don't want to let go, and they don't want to, they're kind of set in their ways. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, what's wrong with the way we've always done things? So Uranus can help you, bringing in the Uranian energy, can help bridge the gap, create a bridge. They're showing me one of those, albeit rickety, they're showing me one of those rope bridges that you walk over, you see in movies sometimes, like in the Amazon or whatever. They're made out of like, there's like, you know, like wood planks. There's rope on the top and rope here. Inevitably in the movies, they're going to end up getting, somebody's going to cut the ropes, right? But these kind of things, where you're walking over this bridge, yeah, it's swaying and it's maybe a little bit unstable and it's a little scary, and don't look down, you know, keep your eyes, you know, that don't look down thing, you know, that could be really a key idea for this time frame. Don't look down, just keep your eyes on the path in front of you. You know, if you look down, you're going to drop, your energy's going to drop. You're going to go right back into this, oh, I'm angry about this thing, but wait, I'm angry. You know, you could be free of it. And we all do. We all go in and out of these phases where we feel really free and we feel like, you know, everything's working out and it's all good and everything's all clear. And then we all do creep back into this, you know, that fear or that anxiety or that anger. You know, these lower vibrational energies start creeping back in. But it's up to us as to how far we'll let it creep back in. Don't look down, because it'll make you dizzy. It'll throw you off balance. It'll throw you off kilter of where you're going and what you're trying to achieve. And you need to just keep walking one step at a time, one step at a time, one day at a time. You know, you'll have your bad days. You know, you'll wake up on the wrong side of the bed. You'll have your bad days. You'll go on social media and everybody's screaming and fighting with each other and calling, you know, name calling and all the fun stuff that goes on. I'm totally being sarcastic about the fun stuff. But all the, you know, we all know what goes on there anymore. So go, you know, turn that stuff off. Turn off the news. Turn off anything that's blasting out doom and gloom and why you should be angry and trying to get you in your dander up and trying to get you in uproar. Even if you feel like, yeah, you know, this is by justice. This is by just, you know, it's you know, you have a reason to be outraged, or you fancy yourself you know, a warrior of truth, or saying, you know, whatever you however you justify righteous indignation, yeah, like even if you're in that righteous indignation, yeah, but so we've got to fight for what we want. That's not going to be the new paradigm. You know, that's been clearly shown to us again and again. The fighting for what we want is not. How's that working out? How's that working out? Like just in politics over the last maybe 8 years, you know. Well, let's just say in this decade, the 2020s, you know, how's that working out? How is fighting for, is that making any change, or is it just getting worse? Is it just getting more and more turmoil and more divisive? The opposition is divisive, right? Or is it bringing is it bringing awareness? Uranus wants to bring awareness, and even Neptune can definitely is part of bringing awareness for sure. Is it bringing awareness, or have we really lost sight of that, and we just are spewing out this hatred and this opposition? Why? What are we fighting for, and why? What are you hoping to achieve? To just that they're a bunch of dumbasses, and you were right and they were wrong? I mean, that's kind of an empty victory, no matter what side, quote unquote, side you're on. So this is there's always a way out. We don't have to get caught up in the the argumentative, the confrontational, the warlike energy that is present. It's present. It's here. You see it right here in black and white. We don't have to get caught up in it. It's hard not to. It's like I always say with these different things that I care nothing about. Like going back to the O.J. Simpson trial, I didn't watch 1 minute of that trial. I did not want to see it. I was totally not interested in it. But yet, I knew what was going on because you just, you couldn't escape it. It was all that was being talked about, and so there's things. It's hard sometimes to shut out these, or what was another one recently? Oh, with that whole Johnny Depp thing. I didn't watch 1 minute of it. I didn't read one article. I don't care anything about it. But yet I know that somebody shit in the bed or something. You can't not know, because it's just so, unless you're just, a monk in the cave oming all the time, doing your meditation and shut the world out, and that's not practical, right? So there's a lot of things that even if you don't want to be a part of it, or you don't want to know about it, it still creeps in. It still creeps in because it's in the zeitgeist, but it's how you react and what you do with it. So, okay, I hear there's somebody shit in the bed. Do I go run and jump in the conversation and read up on it? No, I do not, I just go do my garden or do my artwork or play music and try to restore my, I guess you could say, my little bubble, but I'm not an advocate for staying in the bubble, no. But my own sacred space. Restore my own sacred space. My own, my guides are saying dignity. That's what my guides are saying. So there are these things that are out there in the world, and everybody's getting in an uproar about it. Not only politics, it's other stuff too. And again, it's good to be aware to a point. I don't care about anybody's divorce or personal relationship. I don't care. It's none of my business. And I was always, I have all that Scorpio on my chart. And I have Venus in Scorpio too. And I was never, I don't put my business on the street. It's always been my motto, going all the way back to my parents having the bar, I don't put my business on the street. And there's people back then too. And I'm sure it still goes on. I think more of it's on social media nowadays. But they would come in the bar and, oh yeah, these couples would come in and let's have a big fight in front of everybody and air all our dirty laundry. It's like, no, don't. I would never participate in that. Well, first of all, I don't want to hear about it. I don't care at all about your stuff. And then secondly, dignity, integrity. These are the words that we should be striving for. Not, we don't have to roll around in the mud. There's plenty of mud rolling around. There's plenty of mud slinging. I guess that's what they're trying to get me to say. There's plenty of mud slinging going on. But you don't have to participate. You don't have to participate. It could be hard. Sometimes it's really hard, especially with the sacred space thing. I'm thankfully right now I have a little bit of peace. But when I live, there's a lot of chaos going on right outside my door, pretty much on a daily basis, but I try to maintain my own little peaceful sanctuary, and you can't always shut it out. You can't always tone it down. Sometimes, They're right outside your window. And in my case, that's literal. They're right outside your window. But, you know, you can keep striving for that. You know, you can keep striving. Don't give up. Don't give up on creating the best possible for you, your people you love, bridging those gaps, and you know, creating those bridges and those bridges. I guess that's what they want me to say. There's another word, but I'm not grasping it right this second here. I keep looking at Jupiter, but I don't really see Jupiter making any aspects here. Let's see, Jupiter square the ascendant. It might be doing something. It's actually squaring loosely with this nodal thing over here too. But here's the Jupiter in Gemini also wants to you know, resist the urge to gossip. Resist the urge to engage with trolls on the internet. You know, there's some people that just get off on starting shit, stirring the pot. You know, they just want to engage that way. You know, and I even had this meme that I made with these little trolls, and what was I say? Don't be trolling, keep on scrolling. And I used to post that, and a lot of times that would shut them up. But you know, nowadays I just don't even engage. I don't reply. I don't respond. If it's something on my YouTube channel, then it just gets deleted anymore. You know, I'm not going to leave that slander up on my comments. You know, so if you're going to slander a bitch in my comments, you're just going to get deleted and blocked. But like on just other social media, some people, no matter what you say, they're just going to dive in, and they're just going to look for an argument all the time. They're looking to prove you wrong or how you're wrong. You know, and with the Gemini, it can Jupiter and Gemini, because Jupiter's amplifying, and the Gemini is the mental mind, and them running the mouth. You know, the mouths could be running, jaws will be flapping, gums will be flapping. They're flapping those gums. So it's challenging. You know, it can really be challenging. I just noticed here's an exact trine we got to Pallas. I don't include the asteroids in my aspectarian. I probably could and should change that, but I just don't for some reason. But it's trining Pallas. So Pallas is always, you know, she's a warrior too, like Mike Myers. But Pallas is very inventive, trying new things, trying new ways. Even if it's not like the different things I said, like if it's a troll not responding, or, you know, what my mom used to say going back to the bar days again, you know, when I was growing up. She always said, kill him with kindness. There was a lot of people that she couldn't stand, you know. And she just would kill him with kindness, kill him with kindness. And that's very disarming, believe it or not. It can be very disarming. Because they're ready, they're nasty, they got their nasty bag all fired up with ammo to shoot at you. And they're all ready to tear into it, right? And you just kill them with kindness or say something nice, and, you know, they don't know what to do with that. So, or just, usually for me, it's like not engage at all. But you know, there's new and inventive ways to deal with a lot of things, not just the warlike vibes and energy that's going on, no. But, you know, anything that's killing your vibe, anything that's rocking your, you know, blowing, you're on that, they keep showing me that rope bridge, around the rope bridge, and the wind is starting to shake, and you can feel the fear rising, you know, the fear rising, and what am I doing way up here? I could fall down and get killed down in the crevice below, or whatever, the crags, you know, the big chasm below. But then, you know, you just gather yourself. There's a lot of air energy, fire and air. We gotta take some breaths here. Take some big breaths, breathe in, breathe out. Regather, recenter, look forward, go ahead. Move forward, straight ahead. Tattoo detective. It's not too late to whip it good. Alright, well, I'm going to break out my new deck. While I'm shuffling, I'm going to let you know that you can go over to my website if you want to get a reading. I have, you know, tarot and astrology, but it's just out of the ephemeris. As far as the astrology, it's more of a psychic tarot. I don't really have any special astrology readings, but I always do have the soul reading. And that's where we do a deep dive into your past lives using the astrology chart. Okay, and it's it's pretty cool and pretty deep. I've uncovered one of these days I'm going to go through. I keep saying that. I have my long list of things to do, and just some of the things that have come through in those readings are pretty amazing. Sometimes like otherworldly things come through, a lot more lately. But it's, sometimes it's so hard to describe when that happens. So I have that for a single person, just your past lives, your soul journey, and I use the astrology chart, but I start getting a lot of visions, and it's really a psychic reading. And then the other strictly astrology reading that I do have is with the two people, the soulmate reading. And I do a bi-wheel, and I look at the things that are joined in your chart, and then the guides show me the past lives that you've had together. So I have both of those things available, and other readings too on my website. So check it out if you're interested. This is going to be from my brand new Holy Hamza deck. That's just done. I'm going to pull one card, and I want to. It's available for sale through GameCrafter. This little gnat keeps flying right in my face. I got to put some more gravel in my plants. But anyways, and I want to thank everybody who's already ordered it, because it is selling, and I'm so happy that you're using it and enjoying it. And this comes from my many years of doing readings. I mean, actually doing readings, not just spewing out general readings on YouTube. And not just doing family and friends, because that doesn't count, because you know their lives, I got my first deck in the 70s, started reading, professionally in the late 80s. So I've read thousands and thousands of people. And the result is this deck, which covers a lot of stuff that the tarot and some other oracles don't. So it was definitely divinely guided. And let's pull one card for this new moon in Taurus from my Holy Hamza for the collective. And what's it going to be? What's it going to be, boy? Yes or no, no, no. Let me sleep on it. All right. Sound. What was I talking about? Music and how Taurus is so music. But what I found... Let me find something to put behind here. And I think that it comes into view much better then. There we go. It looks like it's, well, I could just do it this way. I don't have to hold on to it. Yes, so sound. This is sound healing. Look at the background words and see if any of them grab you or get your attention, because that could be the word that is the the message directly for you. I forgot to get the booklet out, so we're just going to go. We are all immersed in a sonic field of energy. Yeah. So sound is a way, the field of energy. So even again, if it's not playing or listening to music, using those tuning forks, using the singing bowls, the bells, clearing the field, gongs, chimes, these different things, clearing your field when it gets to be too overwhelming, which, definitely can be a factor with the aspects that we're looking at here. But again, we don't want to be all doom and gloom. We would like to be solution oriented, not bitching about, well, it's Mars opposed Pluto, well, I might as well just join in the fight, I might as well just whatever, No. Don't be discouraged. Don't give up. Don't give in to those negative thoughts and those downward things. I mean, yes, they're going to creep in, but the more you work with catching it and turning it around, the easier and easier it becomes, and the less and less that this will creep in and occur. Okay? All right, everybody, again, head over to my website if you want to order astrology reports, readings, whatever I have available. The readings, the turnaround time is usually within 1 week, so pretty fast turnaround. Remember, you are love and beauty incarnate. Have a great new moon in Taurus, and we'll speak again soon.